I have a lot of dreams, goals, desires, milestones. For example, a certain type of lifestyle, what I want to be able to control what I eat, where I live, how I make my money, the things, the way I spend my time, volunteering, making art, helping people, spending time with friends and family, traveling, being able to have control over your schedule to a certain degree, right? I don't mean absolute control, but you um, and so with all these things, I get pretty stressed sometimes, just from trying to figure out where to start, how I could strategically or intelligently achieve these things, what's realistic, what's not. Just you know, uh, these things sometimes take up real estate, mental real estate, and uh, I don't like to just have ideas. I like to be able to actually make use of my ideas or make them come to life, or actually use the knowledge that I possess. So I try to think about, how do I prioritize? How can I achieve all these things? Because I know it's possible. I'm not gonna settle for some mediocre sort of uh, lifestyle, right? So I've found a mental framework, or you could say a solution, that has helped me ease this stress amount and simplify and basically consolidate all of these things into daily, very simple tasks that you can just do daily, uh, that will basically quell that anxiety, because it'll basically more or less ensure that these things become a reality, or are more likely. And that solution is the one thing. I call it the one thing, and it's a mental framework that I learned from the book The One Thing, written by Gary Keller. He's a real estate, uh, you could say, mogul who created the whole Keller Williams real estate uh, brokerage chain. And the one thing basically, what it means, what it is what's the one thing that you can do that by doing it makes everything else easier or unnecessary, right? And I interpret the unnecessary meaning it's not necessary to intentionally pursue that endeavor. It will naturally occur, or out of necessity, when the time is right. Uh, so applying this to myself, um, I want to have multiple income streams, be able to eat healthy and organic food. I want to be able to grow my own food. I want to be able to own an earthship, build my own earthship one day. I want to be able to make music as a career and DJ, and even do some audio, some engineering. I want to be able to collaborate with other artists. I want to be able to pursue other business ventures. I want to be able to help people, my friends, my family, invest mm, uh, in ideas and in people. So for me, the one thing right now, when at least let's focus in on the music career aspect. The one thing that I can do for my music career, which to me is kind of like the next, is the door that I need to unlock to then be able to access these other dreams and other, you could, let's say, doors, right, that you want to open. But now once you spend some time thinking about this question, what's the one thing, you'll start to kind of order these doors into a series of rooms, and they'll become a sort of a hierarchy, and you'll see that one thing kind of allows another, or one thing is a prerequisite. So like one skill is a prerequisite for this business idea, right? So you start to get that sort of priority tier level situation figured out, and once you do that, apply the one thing, right? So for me, it's producing and music. So finishing tracks, more specifically, learning everything that I can learn from a track, and finishing them and putting them out, making the artwork, releasing them, uh, improving my craft. So these are a lot of things, but they all can be achieved by just finishing your music, right? So that's what I've been on. That's what I've been doing. I've already, for the past 3 years ago, I already organized. I already chose all the projects that I knew were going to be worthy of finishing, and I've just been since then. I've just been chipping away at each track, uh, with the intention of finishing them, and it's been great. It's been working, and I've improved a lot. It's allowed me to reduce my stress, but because it's just something that I can do every day, whether it's just for 30 minutes or 4 hours or all day. And there's a lot of different aspects of finishing music. If you're not feeling creative, you can do a non-creative task. If you're feeling creative, you can do a creative task. It's all progress towards finishing the track. So from finishing tracks, I've gained so much perspective, and realizing that this is the way. This is the way. This is what I have to do and spend my time. Is the ultimate priority that will allow me to seriously be able to do these other things. Like this is the one thing. Music in and of itself is the one thing that the skill that I have that I can contribute, that is unique to myself, and is actually something that I'm eh, capable of going in deep. This is something that I go in deep. Like there's not a lot of things in my life do I care about or do I go deep, and so it just makes sense that one aspect could be the key to all of your dreams. You just have to figure out what is that thing for you, right? Um, uh, so I think. Oh, also, so this last thing I wrote down is nurture the golden goose, because the one thing is the golden egg. So once you've figured out your one thing, that's your golden egg. That's the golden egg you're gonna keep harvesting every day, every month, every year. But that golden egg comes from a golden goose, and that golden goose is you yourself. So you have to make sure that you're doing the things, in addition to the one thing. You have to be doing things that nurture the goose, which is you yourself, which is me. And for me, that's spending quality time, rest, working a job, getting money, right? Gardening, farming, learning all my other interests. Uh, just nurture that, because if your lifestyle currently isn't sustainable, it's having the one thing figured out is great, but if you can't do it, then that's another issue, right? So I think that's enough for this uh, video, but please, share your thoughts, questions, whatever topics. I I have certain topics I'd like to discuss, and things just to share, personal journal, video entries. But if people do like watch this stuff, share, and it could give me some direction for my next video. Peace.